Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Silk Road's Caravan Kings. This is part 2. We've just made it to Xi'an, China, after a pretty arduous travel that we quite had. Again, I'm at a loss for words because look at my health. Plagued. Could have nearly died because of the blasted winter and the other series of some unfortunate events. But we made it. But our overall morale is still joyous, so it's good at its highest. So now let's buy the silk, but remember, as a reminder, here's what the contract states. 18 silk, or the equivalent value at the time of delivery, which is not to exceed the month of November and year of our Lord, 1275. Well, it's 1275 now, and it took us nearly 2 years to get there, so there is no way on earth we would make it in time, so in exchange of some, yeah, that's the money that we started off with. So, no doubt that we won't make it in that time, so let's just go get the silk. Give me 20, and we got enough to spare. Now we have to start stocking up on supplies. Since furs are a rather commodity, well, we'll sell them here. And the spices as well. Thinking. As I think about it. Up to 70, that should be ideal. 20 spare, just only bring 2 camels. No need to buy more camels. And I will work here for a month. Just to make a little bit free money as a tax inspector here. Just to spend a month here. And it's February. Yeah, who would want to see a second tax inspector? But could stay here for 5 coins. So there, health's restored, and we can leave. How much is for a camel? 121? You know what? Do give me one. Just for the sake of it. He's still selling for... Well, you know what? Give me the rest. That should be enough supplies to get us to all the way back to Tehran. That's the last place I went to, I recall, to buy supplies here. So, what do you think? Return to Lanzhou in central China, back to the way we came? Or return via Karakoram and the steppes? Even though Karakoram to the north it's pretty far in itself, but I am afraid of the steppes, So I believe this way is much safer. So, they say we'll be heading back to Kucha. Even though there's a fork on the road to... You see that other path? That's to Karakoram, which I am not confident about traveling through the steppes. Glad to see. The caravan seems to expand its cat population by the day, and my cat seems to join the company board for the competition or treat service. If we could get any more, we'd be catatonic. So, except the fact that we won't make it in time, we'll be late. Overall, if you were to tell me, it's like, so what do you think of the game in general, Lord Master? I would say I like it, but then again, my love for the interest of all things Silk Road kind of helps it too. And ducats. Endurance. it kind of helps a bit. Tread carefully. Check again. Again, I did not sell the ivory because I was thinking, well, who do you think would buy it? I mean, I might probably sell it. Because, you know, we still need money for the boat trip back home once we get back to Acre. Dark magic is afoot. One of these heathens use of dark magic to curse my group. Well, not me. I force a blessing on everyone in the group. If anyone walks past, if it does end with magic, at least God will know what a true Christian. Ungrateful sods. So, back to the route that we know of, or this way that looks like it's going to take to India? Let's say return via Lhasa in India. Or just go to Dunhuang, the path that I know of. So, just go to the where you know. It's going to be a long travel, so let's begin. I shall receive wealth. 24 ducats, cheapskate. Yeah, me and my 3 camels and my cat. I don't know why. It just some of my fellow companions may be adulterous, but it doesn't make them ignorant on all of nature. Just last night, they noticed a star burning brighter than you. Naturally, they have their own superstitions of what they mean. This is the Chinese astrology. The Chinese man explains the zodiac signs to me and their relations of years and the stars. He continues on for a while and pretends to follow, which seemed to please him. Who could be this? And by the way, that star sign zodiac stuff, I don't believe on that. My brother calls it BS. Just because I'm born on September 11th and a Virgo doesn't mean that I would have the characteristics of a Virgo person. That doesn't mean much to me. Anyway, so let's not get on the tangent of that here. Not here, alright? From little pieces of evidence, such as droppings and broken branches, I've discerned that my campsite is nearby a deer, or some similarly large animal. Such an animal is skittish in order to take down, and spend my evening trying. I'll spend a while looking. I dedicate a short amount of time looking around the campsite for the animal. I'm close to giving up when I hear rustling from nearby brushes, appearing to see 2 huge antlers close enough to impale me. Before the deer can react, I've loosed my arrow and brought it down with a mighty thud. I butchered its speed, saving a good amount of meat for meals. That's all what I can carry. What a thrill. Free food. Yeah, don't forget I have a hunting bow too, in addition to my cat. Find myself camped out by some stream or lake. I've made a note to myself to try to pick up the fishing rod if possible. Now up 10% when I see a peasant boy. I'll give you 10 ducats for the rod. Make my original offer for a couple of ducats, just thinking might get away with it. But the boy's too sharp for me. After an hour of flat negotiations, I offer the boy my purse, fully expecting him to turn down. Instead, he snatches the purse up, claiming to have a new rod at home anyway. He is quite the trader. Now I got a rod. There's room for one more equipment, whatever it may be, if I were to choose to obtain it or not. Right. One wise Chinese traveler was willing to teach you secrets for the price, of course. He obviously a few pointers based on her previous cooking, especially as you can't tell if the food is rotten when it's in stew. Though I'm not sure if eating it sticks. They would love these noodles back home. That increases the endurance, which is now apprentice, so supplies are going to last a bit longer now. Last night I was caught in the age-old trap. I only have one glass. It's in the haze of the other morning in the fog. Rest of the mine have a long walk ahead of me. Hair of a dog? What problems can't that day drinking solve? My companion's life as I stumble up to the ground, half drunk, before I even begun the journey. There are less pressed later today. Well, I exerted myself more than everyone else. Did manage to stave off the hangover. But what about tomorrow? That's bad. Especially bad for the health. Doing so well. The camels typically only ever carry our cargo, but since there are only a few goods to be carried at this time, it will be a welcome rest and possibly fast forward to ride on a camel like some of the Tatars do. I'll try to ride it. Climbing on top of the great beast is challenge on right. Without a saddle, there is no purchase, and the camel is doing me no favors. Though when I'm finally up the camel, there's no clear instructions for me to do. It was best to follow what was in front of me. Still, it's a welcome break from walking. I think I'll walk from here. I did jump up a little, so now I have master intelligence, which I can have about 5 camels. But I'll only have 3 because we're not going to carry that many cargo. I get distracted with the strange surroundings I find myself in, and my party disappears without noticing. As I round the hill, I notice a huge beast snarling at me. It looks like a massive cat, even though it doesn't look like it's on a hunt for mice. How about a nice steak? The beast's eye stalks is quickly reaching my pouch for some meat. I throw it up the hill and the beast pounds it at it. I'd like to take the time to admire such a beast, and make the wise decision to back away. Slowly, and with increasing pace, bringing a full sprint by the time I catch up with the group. That was 5 supplies! Damn! Hopefully I'll get some more free supplies by hunting. While resting one evening, I vaguely noticed a man across the bench bragging about his ability to put back drinks, claiming that his homeland, that the women would drink more than most other men. Such an insult cannot go unanswered. Well, yeah? Can your women handle spirits? The man drinks like a camel, knocking a flagon back before he even brought it to my lips. My vision? All my vision's been gone for a while now. Just one more. The thing is, the world flips me over. What a headache. That was a bad call. One of the curious customs of the Far East is the alleged use of paper rather than gold coins for money. Though I've seen it myself, I still find ability to see the men giving up great wealth in exchange for handfuls of writing. I must get my own. I feel crazy by handing over my coins to the magistrate only to receive a handful of paper. The girl sounds to assure that I will return my coins or leave after fees, of course. This will never catch on. Paper money. What the heck? Paper money. My cat may be a stray, but until today it's considered to be mine. That was till a young villager boy petted him instead of Canton. But now my cat's missing all evening. That cat belongs to me. I find a fickle little beast curled up next to Sleepy Boy. I explained to the alarm farmer that the cat belongs to me. After some clawing, I managed to wrestle back to Caravan. Sometime after the next few days' journey, I discovered a cat that's disappeared. So be it. Fare thee well, cat. At least you were there from beginning to end there, but I guess you're not going to make it back to Venice with me. Ever since we had... You know, that cat's from Venice. we set it off from there. We got it while we were on ship, since every ship's got to have a cat. And cats, well, try to hold on. While the ground is self-shaking, there's no place continuing to stick out. Trying to balance yourself is immediately quite fun, if not terrifying, when the ground is shaking. Examine my bruises. Go again. We're in Danhuang. Obviously, we're going to be way past November, so I know the next place we're going to, Kocha, which I hope will make it there, if my health persists, if I stay healthy. Spend some time practicing. Bad health again, but hey, trying to work on a journeyman for endurance, so supplies can last even longer. Do they have wine in his homeland? We say that distant. I order a round of wines, for long surrounded by mugs and fellow drinkers, laying on one side or the other. A man can truly drink like a camel. After years, the journey makes us collapse for holy level. A true Venetian. Maybe in the future I will do a second playthrough of this. You know, go from Constantinople to Caravan this time. Give the boy a ducat. Saved us 3 days' travels. Jump ahead. You know, one day we're going to be returning to, you know, Islamic country, so maybe the Saracens of them. The Saracens seem to have a deeper understanding of the stars. They use them to navigate their desert roads as well as source their medicines. He eagerly shows details of both. This part of the world is customary. It's customary to take the rubbing of one's body with the hands for medicine and pain relief. I heard of the procedure. Well, it's been offered to me now for a small fee. 5 ducats for medicine. I undressed and laid down on a flat wooden table, distracted, facing the ground. Preparing for my belongings, I keep an eye on the pile of bags. That is until she starts digging her fingers into my shoulders in a dance for both pain and pleasure. Now that's medicine. There you go. Been made aware by so much. It's that certain kind of magic that turns 5 bolts of silk turns to silk 6 bolts of silk. Unfortunately, it's not the kind of magic that will spare a merchant's reputation does it before John Blue. No way. Integrity might not make me rich, but it will make me respected. I decide not to dilute in my product and my commitment to honest trade means goods carried in high regard wherever the destination may be. It's honest work. Made a direct call, definitely. Don't want to risk losing silk if their magic thing goes wrong. Otherwise, that'd be highway robbery. Too bad my candidate here, so that's these rats. So I'll set some traps. A rat catcher. Even though I have master intelligence, so perhaps I would have just got it myself. According to the excited chatter, some of my jolly companions be stopping it in outside at night. It's particularly well known for its hospitality. Growing up at Venice, you know, it's wise to budget my coins before I start drinking. I'll just, to bed. Warm me on the bed. Such simple things that scorn so long in pursuit of wealth. I wake up the next day truly refreshed. Now I get back to sober to the hard ground. Back to the road, feeling strong again. We're in Kucha now. No time to rest. We gotta go to Kashgar. Been fishing all this season to little success. Just some little nibblers that weren't worth the bait. I'm about to pick up and I feel a strong tug on the line. I think I got it snagged on a tree. It started reeling to see the shadow of Goliath floating back. This is a war of attrition. I prepare myself for the mighty battle, relaxing when the fish fights against me so not to break the string and pull me back when it tries to get away. Any moment that the beast rests and being close towards me, take a moment rest, but a moment all the fish needs to yank on the string, pulling it right in the water and sink it to its depths. The battle of the wills is lost. Now I lost my fishing rod. All I got is my bow now. So, god dang it. One of my fellow merchants managed to overburn himself and his camel train after particularly successful negotiation. He's now looking to light his old. Offered me a loot which I've eyed enviously more than once. You should give it away for free. Turns out it was not the only one who was eyeing the instrument. Shortly after my reviews, it was handed over to the Saracen, now practiced intensely. Which he, well, needs to my dismay. Damn it. But the morale is still high nonetheless. Settled down in the evening, and noticed my cattle seemed to be straining on their way to my cargo, like usual. After setting the pack, I noticed that it looks a little leaner than I remember. Lean means fast. If anything, my camel needs to lose a little more weight. I realized the panting from trying to keep up with me while lugging around all that. What? Pure grass diet from now on. Oh boy, I have many companions on the Silk Road, so they're always changing caravan from town to town. It dawned on me today that the only real consistency is me and my pack animals. Mary should show them that I appreciate their company. New saddle. Fellow merchant on the road. That's a caravan that looks like it'll fit my camel perfectly. Exchanging a handful of coins on more than weight. And my camel to see where the old straps have been then skin. New saddle, easy for me to say. Seems to distribute the weight of my bags much more evenly. Anything for my camels. So that lowers the intelligence but increases the strength. No doubt we'll be in Kashgar in November, and I'll be willing to risk a travel to Kabul in winter. During the last few days, I noticed a increasing amount of meowing around you. The stray appears to be taking to follow me around now, sitting on your foot, purring. What the? Looks like you need a new home. I'll pick up the cat off of my foot and stroke its headed hair. You could do with a bath. You think it goes away in the hands. The friends we make. Got a new cat. See if he's gonna make it to Venice. I ain't got no time for waiting. We gotta get going. The caravans are a mixture of cultures from across the Silk Roads. Spending so long around such a mixed group of people, beginning to pick up words or even phrases if they're said often enough. With just a little more effort, I might be able to string a few sentences together. Which language do I choose though? Saracen tongue since we're going to Kabul. The Saracens found my falls interesting, if not amusing. Over the next week I'll walk with them, dine with them, and carry out every conversation in pure Arabic. I'm not sure if the tenses or the sentence structure, but my tongue just can't hack it. At least they found me funny. No more, please. Should we really gamble on it? Go through the rough Pamir Mountains, into the Hindu Kush, and into Kabul? A moment of nice plump pheasant popped to my view, and I began stalking, waiting for the perfect moment, lining up my shot. Just as I loose arrow, he gets caught on a frayed wood of my bow and thuds to the ground, scaring the pheasant away. My bow needs some maintenance. Nothing a little elbow grease can't fix. All the bow needs a little bit of love. I laid down on a roll of carpet and set it to work some tools, scavenged from other triggers, and disassembled the bow and start to work on each part. Sanding or bending needs to be put back together. Nothing will fit. While trying to force the string back onto the wood shatters. At least we have firewood now. All that is left is the cat. My new cat. Everything's just wearing out. 25 days away, which is bull. We're going to be there in January. So I'm gambling on it. It's just around the corner. Teach her to be more loving, this cat. I don't know how Sonny Soldor could be such a killer. I soon to find out as I try to restrain from running to the bush. After a few bumps on the nose, the cat stops bringing the kills home. Guess that's a start. Hundreds of pilgrims flock to the Holy Land each year. They're the lands that the Lord himself walked are beyond the scope of my journey. Fortunately, a wandering monk is selling holy artifacts at incredible prices just to keep them out of the hands of Saracens. Should I really call out on it? Because, I'm not going to spend my money for artifacts or safekeeping. What the heck am I going to do with those? Zagging up my morale? But I'll just say, I see right through you. A rag, salt, dust, and some oil? Who does he think he's fooling? You shout for all to see that this man is a charlatan peddling false goods under the name of the Lord. You cry quite a stir. And the monk places artifacts behind his people. Library Street around, as it should be. A con man. Nobody ever cons old Lord Master. It was my understanding that the Saracen religion forbids drinking alcohol. I'll just take it. It's just to have the opinion of. It's officially winter now. See if we can make it to Kabul. Keep building fires. Should have stayed in Kabul. Even though we're going to Kabul. Be patient. We'll be there. It's not unusual to make a few small trades on my journey throughout the day. To both keep the tongue sharpened and make up any supply shortages or to diversify my goods. But with the winter, most merchants are hunkered down, making small trades impossible. I will lose supplies. The shortages means that any small losses can snowball. Before substitute bread for meat can throw off my supplies for a week just because so I'm old. Now that's what I have to make do until I reach the city. And And I'm hungry. Come on. Almost there. I don't think we'll make it before Christmas, because we often travel during Christmas. Morale's reduced to merit. Now I'm fit. Organize a feast using 3 supplies. Such a sacred time of the year should be celebrated, not just masses of cloves stumbling about morosely. I set up a small feast using the freshest meat available, passing around a mug and bring cap together even if it's for just a meal. If only we had presents. Yeah. Well, Happy New Year. Last night I was fortunate enough to catch the last embers of the fire to cook back to life. The miserable waters made the campfire both essential and difficult to maintain. Let's set up a shift system. No need to be zealous here. Stay up to watch it would probably further reduce my It only makes sense to stay up a little later just to keep an eye on the fire. If you don't get as much sleep, at least you won't freeze in the night. Can you trust your companions in the night? I'll take the first shift. We're here. Of course, past time I will be working as a bureaucrat. 20, and then we shall rest. Really? No coins? Our Islam opinion is at the max, which means at an inn to rest for the winter. So we will rest for free. Excellent. God bless you. Well, Allah bless you, whatnot. You know what? Give me a... Whoa, shoot. I didn't realize there would be that many. I just needed 5 of each, alright? No need to be that excessive. And our supplies are fine, even though we did spend a great deal of it during the winter. Figured that Kabul, being the center of all trade, thought we would have evenly distributed prices. But if you want more spices, go to India. If you want cheaper furs, you go up to the steppe. Guess it's not to be then. But anyways, we're heading back to Merv. Which is a long way. Well, actually, Tehran is a longer way after Merv. There is little that attracts flies more than camels. Most flies stick to the camels, only bothering merchants on their way out. My fly, on the other hand, has been pestering me all day. Every time I think it has gone, I hear the drone of its wings as it dives from my neck once more. I'm at the end of my rope. I'm gonna outrun this bastard. Next time I shoot a fly, I launch it into a full-blown sprint away from my group, dumping my bags on the ground for rated speed. About a mile, I begin to creep back rarely, hearing anything as a buzz and itching in my skin as I collect the bag. Also going to hear familiar bzzz. Well, no one read of me, this turbulent insect. Still no variant for walking speed increase. I can get a bow. I'll give you 15 ducats for the bow. Come at me, critters. Feels like back to normal. Got me a cat and got me a bow. Venice is well known for its prominent Jewish population who make active businessmen. Perhaps is a little surprised at a number of shops in this region. Local Jewish men hold positions of power either as merchants themselves or even as officials. Work with them. It would be foolish, and more importantly bad business, to hold on to the prejudices of the old world in this great adventure. I shall seek out the highest quality at lowest prices from whatever vendor, and the market without regard to their creed. It's just good business. Bring more beer. Order a round of beers. Before long, I'm surrounded by mugs and fellow drinkers singing on one side and the other. The man could truly drink like a camel, but years of training makes us class will never. Another round of drinks, please. At least there is no penalty. I wish we could go to other noted Silk Road cities such as Esfahan and Samarkand up north, as you could see. But I'm sure in future updates they'll add different, routes that you can go to. I go up to Samarkand and over yonder to the steppes, or through Samarkand to Kashgar, those routes. Even though I stayed away from India. Because the contract says they want silk, so I'm sticking to it. Anyways, desert's about the harshest environment I can experience. Though I managed to pick enough water for myself, camels are being forced to use natural ability to go without water. One day over a dune, I noticed off the far distance an outline of oasis. We headed towards it, but just ventured forward. We decided to stick. Best to stick with the main path and keep time. It's the only sure way to my supplies last trip, and what if it got lost? But I am thirsty. But it is no matter. In this region or world, I must have sent the local ruler before I could trade, and along with a formal tax. Instead, expected to exchange gifts. One such meeting is to take place in the evening, but you must select a gift. A poem? I enter the Lord's Great Hall. The courtiers surround me as I make my approach, heads down with eyes averted. I stand and begin to recite the poem they had prepared before I can even finish the stanza. Courtier sees me throwing out of the hall and inform me not to trade. I guess they don't like poetry. Shaking my head. Someone had leftover ivory. One would think I could have given that, but I'd like to bring home a bunch of goods with me besides silk. It's for the end of me. This region has seen a great deal of conflict in recent times, and the passing armies supplied itself in the villages. In response, the locals taking hiding their food away. Free food? Again, the opinion is so high. And we can get it back once we... Help yourself. Help myself with supplies. Load as much grain as I can carry. I struggle to make it back to Caravan. Just laid down supplies. Still tempted to return for more. Nobody in the caravan needs to ask where they found the supplies. They probably won't even notice. Look at that! Free food, full stock. Well, god dang. There are a number of different ways and scales, and measurements in this region are foreign to me. This has made getting a good deal increasingly difficult. I could insist on using my own weights to put the odds back in my favor, but some locals refuse to deal with me. Now, let me use my weights. Turning my weights is a pressure to proportion of the weight to find a conversion ratio between the other merchants, and some refuse in principle to manage to make a profit on my understanding already. Sounds like a deal to me. You're really alienating, are you? How much is for another camel? 159? Okay, just only need one because we're overloaded on food and supplies, which that should be enough to make it all the way back to Accra and Venice. In the meantime, no thank you. Look, we're gonna accept the fact, so let's just pick up a little bit of money and go to Tehran. Long way away. Just needed some money for whatever I need. in time. What's in it? Finders keepers. Gotta stop doing that. Stop being a greedy bastard and stop being, start being a nice guy, alright? What's gotten into me? While in the village, making a small trade supplies out, I made an attractive deal with the Saracen. Before I could compete at a local Christian post, he offered to deal the same supplies at a worse price. I go with the Saracen. Make a much more profitable deal. This is a matter of business, not faith, after all. The Christians seem to think otherwise, taking a rather personal stance on the whole issue and blaming the taxes levied by the Saracens on Christians, just losing out on the business. I'm a merchant, then a Christian. Now I gotta start balancing between the two. I'm resting in a roadside tavern above the general din of the travelers. And locals, I could hear the faint sound of music. I rise from my bench, finding myself drawn towards the sweet sounds of plucked strings, discovering the tavern keeper's daughter. Give me 10 ducats. Anyways, the girl is hesitant to part with the instrument. As I even begin to pound on coins, eventually the innkeeper comes over, coaxing the wooden instrument from her hands and proceeding to snatch up coins. I found my true calling. At the boot. Try to write it. There we go, up on it. So jump ahead of time. Yeah, this is why the icon says, you have to walk with the camel, not to ride on it like the Tatars do. Anyways, some of the less civilized traveling companions have seemingly decided to make an offer for their gods or the spirits, maybe their ancestors. Either way, they've been chanting, crisping a chicken before sunrise, and impatient to get away from them. Are you gonna eat that? My companions seemingly stunned into blessed silence as I reach between them and pull off a leg. The worshippers are clearly infuriated and shouts me down as I return to my car. Favorite! I guess the Tengri don't like us, particularly just for doing that. Disrespectful. But we're not up in Tengri country, are we? What is... I'd best watch my supplies. If there are rats about, then I know it's a matter of time before they find a way into my supply pouch. Take extra care to never let the bags out of my sight. When I hit the bags, the slightest squeak. Damn things. Apprentice strength now. See, look at that big jump. I'm beginning to sport quite a cough. Other than my annoying fellow companions, the stretch in my throat is beginning to irritate my travel, as I find myself sitting on every rock or stump I can find. A learned man from the east has offered me some help, for a price, of course. I can rebalance my own humors. I search my belongings for some honey and pulled some nettles from the side of the road, and some saliva. And saliva from the camels. The Caravan makes an event of watching me force down a concoction, and many laughs I gulp of this. I've only had an eye of newt. Some eye of newt. Okay, that lowered the health. Very picky about the pricing. May have to sell a camel later, since I can carry my own supplies very well. I'll give it away. Ivory from my inventory. I enter the Lord's great hall. The courtier surrounds as I make my approach. Hands down, with eyes averted, I place the gift to servant's hands who brings the result. The Lord seems impressed. Placing a gift on the table in front of him grants me permission to trade. It's better to give than to receive. Gotta do something with that thing. For Christendom. I mutter a quick prayer as I send to battle against that Tatarkalat. Rubbing the dirt in my hands as I set off against the power of his arms. Lines set bulge and his face turns red as he slowly pushes me down. When suddenly the air explodes out of him and his arm falls beneath him. I won! There you go. Almost there. Then you get to Baghdad, and after Baghdad, Acre. So, there are all manners of pheasant and rabbits skirting from bushes that line the road, darting across and back down again. This region seems overly populated with all manners of tasty wildlife. Fortunately, I have a cure. Pass me my bow. I take every available opportunity to hunt. I ain't rustling in the bushes warrants an arrow. Pretty soon, piling up carcasses. Though the constant stops to collect my kills begin to slow me down. God provides. That hurts my hub a little. If I spill salt, I must throw a pinch over the shoulder. Sneeze it before work is bad luck. Don't eat all the snow. First, the superstitions that traders hold are endless, and turn down any fortune is being blamed on an inability to hold these rules. Perhaps you entertain these pagan ideas. Pray to the patron saint of traders. Best of luck is delivered by God. Can't hurt to ask Saint Nicholas, the patron saint of merchants, to intervene on my behalf, of course. The other merchants, heathens they are not impressed by my show of faith. Heathens. Well, we can make it to Baghdad. So let's just go. No time to rest here. Carrying 20 for the best boots available. Just increase that walking speed a little more. Just in the middle of the Zagros mountain range. Sorry, it's just something that occurred to me. I bet it cures my ills. So yeah, spend a little bit of spices that just keeps my health up. Journeyman endurance. As my caravan settles down for the night, I can hear shouts of glee and despair in foreign tongues. Upon investigation, I find a huddle of my fellow travelers playing a game of chance with dice. A few of my companions shoulder makes a move away this. It's bet 10. After mumbling a quick prayer, I sit down. A large person begin to play. The crowd cheers and jeers of each roll. Game one's on shoulder, a large prop. Aha. Just took a drink. Caravans are an ancient tradition of the Silk Road. Some they find from shore to shore. They consist of stones scattered up in a pile, almost like road shrines to trade. They help to signal the travelers that they're on the right path. My caravan has stopped to reconstruct it and it's been knocked over. It would be faster if I help. I'll lend my aid to the rebuilding of it. Fortunately, most of the stones fell close by, indicating they may have been knocked over by the wind, rather than just a simple matter of stacking up tumble and muddy, creating a large base, and equally narrowing of each stone. It took 1 day. 1 day delay. No, checking my supplies. Perhaps 3,000 miles started to be worrying low, especially with so much of a journey ahead of me. Though it would be possible for one of the spicemen to work for fresh enough supplies last few. No. Don't eat my wives. I know how to make supplies last. No need to use spices. Huh. Let's just lied a lot. I begin to tell him about the mermaids on the entrance into the floating city, from which they could trade unicorns, horns for wine, which gets you drunk, never leaves a hangover. The stop at the tracks. When one of them asks, "Why'd you ever leave such a great place?" May have got carried away. Man, honesty is it not? So it's middle of October, and Acker's 25 days away. We could arrive by winter, but I'm willing to gamble on it. Especially from our newfound experience from the Far East. We can get there soon enough, we hope. Oh, give me that fishing rod. Now I got a cat, a boat, a bow, and a fishing rod. Heck of a way. Oh, give that boy a duck. This will jump up a bit. Save us 4 days travel. Nice. We'll definitely be there in time before winter really kicks me in the teeth. Again, I nearly died when I nearly arrived in Xi'an. Just a little bit of hunting, okay? Decide to spend some time hunting while I walk. I don't go out of my way if a deer's going to run across the road right in front of me. It would be wasteful not to give it a go. It does slow me down, though. Food with a face. Almost home. Hacker's not home, I didn't get what you need. Lord's Prayer is what they need. Well, there are twice as many. Well, that means no need to shout twice as loud. Can't be sure that the worshippers could hear the whole prayer, nor could they understand it. But they were confident someone had gone through and they're all chanting. Feeling quite hoarse. Dang. Hey, cat. I'll just say, and? It's in the cat's nature to kill. Maybe the local area just happens to have an infestation of wildlife. My cats seem to be doing a good enough job clearing them. Who likes birds anyway? Looks a good way of saying annoying. Quick, someone suck the poison out. No health reduction here. No time to panic. I think that would just lower the morale and health. That's in my personal opinion. There we go. Just to keep that health up while I remain healthy. And we have arrived in Acker. Yes, sirree. How much is it? I know. Found passage in the motor for me. My goods costing only 46 ducats. The journey to Venice is 80 days sail away, requiring 16 pounds of supplies. I think we have enough. So we're almost home, but is traveling by ship in the winter dangerous? Do we know that? So you could say, hey, we came here a little late, so sorry. Brought a little more silk than you bargained for. And rest of these. Cat, root, the bow, and a rod. Yeah. So we're just traveling. The other galleys may be Venetian, a crew, or a smattering of other cultures, maybe some used to the journey to familiar myself to these peoples and their ways. I stick with the Latins. There's nothing you can learn from a Saracen or a Tartar. I stuck to my own crewmates who are already a diverse group of freemen Venetians who captured Genoans and Pisans. For the content to share tips in spite of my nationality. No hard feelings. Again, text read that. That's the reason why I just said the wrong ethnicity, nationality. That's why I just got it wrong, because the text the way it's written. Sailors are paid in coin as well as drink, so it is a little surprised that one of their vices appears to be drink. They seem to lack in excuse most of the time, but this evening is taken into a drinking game. There's free space if I would take part. Well, count me in, brother. The rules appear to be drinking every time a wave rocked the boat, but apparently they're a little more sophisticated than that. The heavy alcohol does little help my understanding for how long it matters to excuse myself to sleep on the floor. What we will do with a drunken sailor. I know it is tempting to sin, but it got the best of me. And we'd be spending Christmas at sea. Out on the sea, I could see the world stretched before me. I can hear the sailors singing and crashing the water against the ship. The smell of sea air. I could really see the sea, though. Oh, endless blue rocking back and forth, back and forth. Come to think of it, you actually feel quite unwell. Some time in the galley may help. Nothing like a meal to stave away nausea. Unfortunately, it didn't make it far enough. The mere smell of food was running into my stomach overboard. At least I'll be hungry later. Yeah, winter events does not come up when you're in ship. That's good to know. Almost home. After duties of some of the sailors taking a game of chance below deck, players roll 3 dice and whoever has the highest count wins the pot. Money is rather measly, but could be a way to pass time. I'll just play for fun. I keep with the tradition of small bets, only adding to some would consider chicken feed. It isn't enough to get my heart racing, but it does pass the time. Almost forgot to collect my winnings by the end. I won? Aha! Enough money to spare. Passing through the straits into the Adriatic. Sailors are paid in coin as well as drink, so it's a little surprising. Oh, yes. Well, this is just saying. Rubbing shoulders of sailors and drinking their swell is not the domain of a patrician, or patrician in training at least, even if it does look fun. I've had quite enough liquids. Trying to be moderate this time around. I guess we could get one more event in before we finally home. I gotta be into this playthrough. I'm not quite sure what compelled me to bring the camel aboard with me, yet here it is in all its glory. As much as a camel built for the desert, it still doesn't do well at sea, and taking it being agitated to being ill. I'll comfort it. I'm not sure how to comfort a camel, but I try my best. Holding the head close to it, wrapping my arms along its neck and stroking its mane. After clearing a mountain of sewage, the beast appears to have taken me. Lucky me! I'm very intelligent. Finally. So here's your end here. Wow. Okay, so we did not make it at the due date to the contract. It's supposed to be there at 1275, but clearly we were there a year late. Or 2. Oh, I forget. I didn't look at that last point. And the silk due was 18. I gave him 20 as a little bonus. And the sum that was owed to me was 50. So, and this is the total. I mean, we made based on the price of selling and revenue here, which is considered crap, you know. Lord Master has returned to Venice. Little better off when you felt it. When you collected your purse from the guild, you were almost in disbelief at the journeys ventured for such pits. I wonder about all the roads I could have taken, what treasures may have found. I settled to a small room on the mainland above a butcher's shop, pretending to apply trade as a merchant, but my small capital does little to help me funding business. I'm not sure if it's my perception with comparing how much better things are in Cathar, or it's my newfound use of sticks as cutlery, but people have taken to giving me a wide berth. Maybe it has something to do with the time I try to get people to hand over gold for paper. I've let my tales of faraway lands beyond comprehension, though few believe me. After a year back home, I start to hear the call of the Silk Roads once again. How to respond. Which, by the way, you can continue on here, which I'm sure all the skills that you have learned will still be put to use from your experience, and I'm sure they're going to give you a different contract with whatever. Say it's like, okay, I want you to go out and get this, and do be here in due date, and the sum that you owed, which isn't very much for me, yeah. So that's it for the Silk Roads, Caravan Kings, which retired just basically means, okay, we'll just stop right here. And continue on is to continue, but with your skills, along with your cat, your lute, your rod, and your bow. All that. So I'm just gonna retire here. I'm sure we'll do a different playthrough again. Go through the Constantinople and the steps next time. But that'll be for another time, so we'll just retire here and we'll go back to the main menu. We can continue the game, which the last autosave will be an Acker, in which we will go back to Venice and it will have that same ending again. If you wish to continue on this playthrough, which I'm sure that we'll have a different contract. Which, matter of fact, I'll probably have a look at that right now. So yes, we're going back to Acker again. And we're going to go back to Venice. So let's just go back to... It's no secrets that sailors are fans of particularly bawdy songs. This leaves me something of dilemmas. My quiet practice becomes a melody to tunes. Play for the crowd. An audience is an audience. Play along to the working the simple beats of sailor songs. Before long, I memorize myself singing under my breath. I like the one with the mermaid. So we're just going to go back up there. See what happens before we officially end this video. In order to pass some time, let's see, consider taking over fishing over the edge of the ship. Considering the location and the lack of other things to do it, seems like a best place. Fetch my rod. Plop my rod in the water. The feel is different when I'm used to as waves are make detective fish much more difficult. When the water's calmer, I do manage to bag myself a mighty sized fish. Dinner's on me. Stick with the lands. You may never know with the high Christian opinion. Again, I just wanted to see what happens if you continue. Like, will this playthrough continue? Will the timeline, will continue beyond 1277? I just need some air. The warm salt air makes me drowsy, but my stomach is more awake than ever, so I find myself in a rush to... No more air for me. Doesn't matter. Some sort of terrible flux been affecting crew members the past few days. Though everyone is healthy before leaving port, there is now talk of having to sit in quarantine until the disease has passed through the ship. I'll focus on keeping healthy. Well, I found a galley forward to little room for privacy or space. I found to keep my humors uncontaminated and secure my own space. Then begin to haul out what I'm called in the storm of the ship. Scarce are coming out for food and water. No water to sleep in the night. I'm in a sick rest. Why are you so itchy all of a sudden? I don't feel so good. I don't know, helping out would have done any good either. Just play for fun, and I lost the bet. You know, we were just doing it for the fun of it. That's actually a little more than I remember. And there's your total. Again, the sum you owed, that means you have to pay it back. Alright? And that's where we left off. So maybe next time, bring home a larger amount of silk, ivory, and spices from where you can get it. Although you will get the penalty. So the due date penalty is based. So, yeah, consider this penalty. This is just deduction. And this is final total. Yeah, I got it all figured out now. So, probably next time, go get a larger stock on silk, ivory, furs, and spices from wherever you can get it from the east. But the ending obviously will remain the same. Yeah, same ending based on the writing, so we'll just continue on from here. What happens? Okay. Paris knows of 14 silk, or the equivalent value. Be there from the year of our Lord 1282. In the exchange sum of 1680 ducats shall be made available. So, silk, again. Again, everybody knows my name. So, Constantinople, the steps. You know, I feel we could do another playthrough out of this. Consider this as a continuation, but we're going to Constantinople on the steps, and we know the tutorial. But hang on here. The opinions are the same. Experience, skills, 1279. I still got all the supplies. Sold them all. Still got my camels. And be there in 3 years' time, in next March, 1282. So, we're going to make a stop on this playthrough at Constantinople, so maybe there will be another two-parter coming up. So, for now, let's just get to Constantinople, and that's where we will stop. And we'll see more of Silk Road's Caravan Kings coming up. But I'll help the sick when I can. I am a true Christian soul. When I hear others cry in pain and crowd too, in the image of Christ himself I minister to sick, using the best modern medicine I can know of, assisting the surgeon in teachings and more. I help spares the crew for the quarantine, I help myself to begin to feel some symptoms. I'll walk it off. Just gotta get that Christian opinion up, knowing that it's meaning orthodoxy up there. Play for keeps. I enter the tables as suavely as I can manage with the rocket of the boat, settling down a heavy sack of coins and selling for the long night of wagering. The sailor scoffed, thought it'd clear off on a range of dialects. Didn't want to play anyway. Wonder what sell that is cheap in Constantinople. There is much to be learned aboard this ship. There are many who are bored enough to teach me. Would be best able to prepare for my journey ahead. Indeed, Jolly, more so. The navigator. The navigator seems to be annoyed at my presence. Warns me not to touch the charts he has spread around the table. Or I can ask if I could shadow him while he shushes me, pointing towards the nearby chair. The next few days spent looking at the maps, staring at charts and cursing. I think I even learned something. It's a wonder how I get to keep my camels. Sailors are paid in coin as well as to drink, so it's a little surprise that one of their vices appears to be a drink. They seem to lack an excuse for most of the time, but this evening is taking a drinking game. There's free space to take part of. It's beneath me. Don't tempt us sin. We'll be there. Guess we'll make another round of the boat trip. So here we are, Constantinople. They're a bit expensive here, which I could take a few with me, and supplies, but in actuality, this is where we will stop the video right here. So originally this was going to be a two-parter, but looks like we're going to make another two-parter in the future. But for now, we're just going to take a few days off from this game, and we shall see it in another time. But it'll be in the near future. I'm not going to take months off from that game. It's just I'm going to take a different route and see what happens. Taking the long route across the steppes, because I never been there before, not even in my prior practice before this. They don't call it the Silk Roads for nothing. And remember, wherever you stop, it's an autosave. So we will return to Silk Roads Caravan Kings in another time, in another day. So we hope you enjoyed this playthrough from Venice to China, then back again. For now, it's going to be from Constantinople up to Karakorum, which I'm sure at some point we still have to get down to China because we've got to get that silk, man. Depending on the price of silk up there. We ain't going to buy it here. But I may have to take ivory, furs, and spices with me for, you know, gifting away or something. And probably get another camel along the way too. And once you're over there, just buy as much as you can have. And the supply minutes, well, we got it all figured out now. So, yeah, I figured it out this game now. So, we'll see you in another day for a second journey of Lord Master, as he wasn't content with the ending of what happened when he was there, since he got a little property there. But on this next playthrough, well, it's actually a continuation of the first playthrough, but we're going a different route. So consider this as episode 3, or part 3 coming up next, and part 4 as well, from Constantinople to from China, whatnot. I don't know, maybe we'll go down to India for some spices. Even if we do get a reduction penalty on that contract with the due date. So for now, stagger as much as you can for the next episode of part of Silk Road's Caravan Kings. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, so long for now, and safe travels, and stay healthy, and be merry.